We are here with Terry Portelli, the director of Red 23. Terry, thank you for joining us.
Sure.
So, Terry, tell us a little bit about your history and background. How did you get into the business of land and construction?
Sure. Well, I had a passion for property development from a very early age. So once I decided that it was enough of high school, I progressed into real estate. Started off in commercial industrial. Did that for 2.5 years, and then in 1992 started with one of Melbourne's leading residential land agents and stayed there for 11.5 years for them.
Wow.
And then progressed to working for one of Melbourne's top 5 builders. Spent another 2.5 years with them, learnt the builder side of the equation, should we say, and then pretty much decided it's time to go out there and start up on my own. So I started Red 23 in 2007.
And very successful. Red 23 is a land agent.
Yes.
What is the role of a land agent?
Well, basically, we consider ourselves project sales and marketing is the true definition of what we do. But the important thing for us is that we are the conduit between developer and builder. So we're really the meat in the middle of the sandwich that brings the two together.
I like that answer. What do you feel is your main point of difference in the marketplace?
Our main point of difference, I think, for us is that we're all a very, very passionate bunch of individuals, and we all care about our customers. Customers being our developers to make sure that they're getting what they want, and also our customers being our buyers to make sure that they're picking the right block of land for the house that they're intending to build.
Yep, and that's a great leading question. So basically, as a buyer, what should a buyer look for in a land development?
Look, mainly the main things that they should be looking for really doesn't suit their needs. If they've got kids, are they close to schools? Are they close to public transport? Can they access the amenities that they need to live their day-to-day lives? Then after that, you look at obviously, what's on the project. Does it have parks? What are the design guidelines? How's your investment going to be protected? Those sorts of things.
Great. So if a buyer's chosen obviously where they want to live in terms of location, they've chosen their block of land, what next? What are the steps involved in terms of buying a block of land and obviously then choosing the builder involved?
Sure. Well, the first thing I would say that's probably the most important thing is really getting qualified for finance and ascertaining how much you can actually spend on a property. We've had the unfortunate situation where buyers have come in thinking that they can purchase a property only to find out after they've paid their deposits and signed contracts that the banks won't lend them the money, and it can be pretty devastating for a couple. So understanding what your limit is and how much you can actually borrow is probably the most important factor that I could, most important advice that I could ever give anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've got your budget, then you can go out and start looking for that house and land package to build.
Yep, great. Okay, so they've chosen their block of land, they've spoken to a good broker, had some preparation in terms of the numbers that they can afford.
Sure.
What are the steps involved in, obviously deposits? How does the deposit process work? What's the usual time frames in terms of land settlement?
Sure. Well, basically the way it works is that once you've found a block of land that you like, you'll be required to sign a contract of sale. Once you sign that contract of sale, you'll either be required to pay 5% or 10% on signing of the contract. If in case contracts are not ready, what they'll ask you to do generally in the land agents ask you to put $1,000 down as a reservation fee, which takes the block off the market until such time as they can prepare the paperwork. Once they've prepared the paperwork, they'll obviously get it signed up. The customer will then also be required, in parallel to signing the land contracts, they'll go out and they'll have a talk to their builders, and the builder will prepare the paperwork and the contracts that they'll need in order for them to build the house. Typically timing, if you're buying on an estate where they're doing pre-sales are whereby the land isn't ready for construction. If they haven't constructed yet or started construction, look, you'd be looking at anywhere between a 6 and 9 month wait before you can actually receive a land title, which then enables you to start building on that block of land. Once you get to the building stages, depending on whether you're building single or double story, a builder for a single story will take roughly about 6 months, and then a double story maybe a couple more months after that, because there's a little bit more involved when you're building a double story.
So it's good to understand the timing of expectations as to when a buyer should be able to move into their property.
Yep.
What should a buyer look for in terms of some of the pitfalls in land? So site costs, covenants, things like that.
Sure. The pitfalls really are, it is the site costs, and site costs that are levied against a customer when they're building is generally anything that's in the ground, and they're the unforeseen. And it really depends upon soil conditions, so it's really important to understand the soil conditions in an area and work in conjunction with your builder to make sure that you're selecting a block of land that's going to suit the house and also is not going to cost you a lot in foundation costs, in-ground costs.
Great. And what should a buyer look for in a good finance partner?
I think with a good finance partner, you need someone who's going to be really considerate, that actually does listen to your needs, someone who's quick to respond. When you're buying property, there are timelines that you have to adhere to, especially when you're going to settle a block of land. And if you do settle late because your finance broker or your bank is running late, you will be hit with penalties, which is an extra cost that you don't really need.
I suppose someone who's had some experience in construction finance.
Most definitely. And there is a difference because some banks will be more, or lenders or brokers will be more geared up towards established property. I think you really have to be careful that you do find a broker that is that does know about construction loans, because they can be a bit of a minefield if you're not dealing with the right people.
Fantastic. So Terry, in summary, what do you think are the three main things someone should look for in a land development?
I think the three main things, the first thing is that it is addressing their needs. When we say addressing their needs, it's the needs of the individual. So they can vary from person to person. So as long as it's ticking all their boxes, that's the first thing. Second of all, I think they really need to look at the reputation of the developer. Are they a reputable developer? Previous developments can be like a display home for a builder. They can be a display for a developer. So really look into your developer. Make sure you're dealing with reputable people that have a proven track record. And I think the third thing is making sure that you've chosen the right builder, a builder that's going to address your needs. Are they a custom design builder? Are they more an order home builder? I think really those are the three main areas that I'll be considering if I was buying.
Fantastic, great advice. Well, Terry Portelli from Red 23, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for your time.